Jesus. It's so bad. It's predictable at this point. It really is. Like, come on. Seriously. The Nick Castellanos home run, the go-ahead home run, 3-run shot. It just doesn't even matter. It doesn't. It's literally a replication of what Bryce Harper did in the Braves series. Go ahead 2-run shot in the 9th inning. Okay, Nick Castellanos go ahead 3-run shot in the 8th inning. And you give up a game-tying home run to a guy that hasn't got a hit in the major leagues. Seriously, I haven't heard of this guy until we played today. Nick Plummer? Who? Who is that? Who is that? Seriously, one pitch in the 9th inning and it's tied up. I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. This team. Oh my God. Oh my God. So you're swept by the Mets. You're swept by the Mets. Holy shit. Holy shit. To be honest, this game was just boring. Overall, this game was very boring. From that slop that happened in the bottom of the first inning, Rhys Hoskins, I have no idea what the hell he is trying to do on these plays. Zach Wheeler literally doing everything possible to keep the Phillies within the ballgame itself. Phillies offense struggling. Basically not surprised there. You do muster a run. And then you get the Nick Castellanos home run out of nowhere on an 0-2 count. You're up 4-3. Seranthony Dominguez has a great bottom of the 8th inning. And then Corey Knebel. Corey Knebel in the bottom of the 9th. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm running out of words. I am running out of words. My God. My God, what a pitiful baseball club. Seriously. What a pitiful club. There are so many guys in that locker room. I feel so like Bryce Harper. I felt bad for Nick Castellanos. Seriously. I do. I do remember there was a tweet from his mother a couple of days ago talking about they had a loss in his family. That, maybe that was the thing that implemented his loss, or implemented his slump. In the past couple of games, it does look like he's getting better in the batter's box. It does look like he's better in the batter's box right now. Maybe he's getting his confidence back. So, Nick Castellanos, I feel bad for. Alec Bohm, even though he's in a little bit of a slump hitting-wise, he's still been one of your more consistent players. I feel bad for Alec Bohm. I feel bad for Gene Segura. Some guys I don't feel bad for, though. I don't feel bad for Rhys Hoskins because he's not, being the Rhys Hoskins we know he can be. Kyle Schwarber? Where's the Kyle Schwarber hot streak? Seriously. Where's the Kyle Schwarber hot streak? JT Realmuto? I don't feel bad for him. Even though his bat woke up a little bit. Still don't feel bad for him. Zach Wheeler, I feel bad for. Aaron Nola, I feel bad for. I feel bad for literally no one in the bullpen, maybe besides Seranthony Dominguez. That's basically it. My God. What a pitiful baseball club. Seriously. If somehow Joe Girardi isn't fired, it's not even saying it's Joe Girardi's fault at this point. Because, no, not every single game is Joe Girardi's fault. He's had a lot of, screw-ups, in the past so many weeks. I blame Joe a lot. I do. But he's not, all at fault for what's going on with the team. There's a lot of players underachieving. It is. But with the way you're losing games, the way you constantly see the mismanagement of the bullpen, bringing out guys that probably shouldn't be out there for another inning, it's seriously. Like in one of my group chats about the Phillies, it's like Joe Girardi's mishandling of the bullpen. When he was with the Yankees GM, he had one of the best closers, and probably the best closer in the history of baseball, Mariano Rivera, in the back end of the bullpen. So he's treating guys like Mariano Rivera back there like he had the benefit of having a guy like Mariano Rivera in the back end of the bullpen. The Phillies. When was the last time the Phillies had a legit closer? Papelbon? Jonathan Papelbon was the last Phillies legit closer, I guess. been that long. It's really been that long. And the bullpen woes just continue. Like, seriously. Seriously. I don't even know. I'm running out of words. I'm running out of ways to describe this. Like, I am. Like, seriously. It's getting to the point where it's fucking predictable every single time. It is. I see that Nick Castellanos home run. Nope, Mets are going to come back. Mets are going to come back. It took one swing by Plummer in the 9th inning in the first pitch. A guy who hasn't had a fucking major league hit. He's the guy that kills you. And then Corey Knebel retires the rest of the guys 1, 2, 3 like it's nothing. Like, seriously. 9 pitches, and the guy that hasn't had a major league hit in his entire career, he's the one that kills you. He's the one that kills you. Okay. Oh, boy. A lot to go into today. So, before we get into the rest of this, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or very miserable, depending on the outcome. It's been very miserable as of late, specifically with this Philadelphia Phillies team. Very miserable. So I recommend you hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets, upcoming sport events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Use it on anything you want. Concerts, Phillies games, any Philadelphia sporting event. $20 in your pocket eliminates the fees. Use that for parking, concessions, anything you can think of. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. See some guys in the live feed right here. I see Lion saying, "Sorry, bro, it's a rough time to be a Philly fan." Oh, yeah, that is the understatement of the century. The understatement of the century. Mr. W says, "How do you not put Sir Anthony back in for the 9th inning? I just don't get it." Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, if you put Sir Anthony out there for the bottom of the 9th inning, who knows what happens at this point with this Phillies bullpen? Who knows what happens at this point? Who knows? BK says, "Remember when Pedro said he was just going to start calling the Yankees his daddy? Well, it's that type of situation right now for Knebel." Oh, God. Oh, man. I don't remember Pedro calling the Yankees his dad. I just don't remember that whatsoever. But yeah, I know the that came back to haunt them most likely in the 09 World Series, Pedro in that game 6. As I'm also watching on my live television, it looks like the Celtics are moving on to the NBA Finals right here. They just beat Miami in Game 7. So that's something that's happening right now. I see Mr. W also said, "Huge vid yesterday, by the way, 500 plus views. Nice job." Yeah, thank you very much. I did see the view count on yesterday's video. Yeah, Phillies embarrassing losses tend to do very well on this channel, specifically when there are against the Mets. So that's definitely something there. But thank you for the shout out on that one, W. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I'm seriously running out of goddamn words. I am running out of everything possible to say about this goddamn Phillies team. I really am. Oh my God. Scott says, "Just when you think you have seen it all, here comes the bullpen, and there goes the game." Exactly, Scott. That's definitely the exact words. One of the exact phrases I can probably think of right now. My God. When was the last time the Phillies had an actual good bullpen? When was? Like, seriously, the 2018 bullpen, like when the Phillies didn't even have this much of a roster and Gabe Kapler was the first-year manager. I don't even think the bullpen was that bad as it is now. I really don't even think it is. And seriously, it's like I'm going back to days of like freaking Brandon Workman and the Kovacic and David Hale, all that crap. Oh my God. Going back to all these other years. Jesus Christ. My God, I don't even think the bullpen was bad back then. Like, seriously, you get the COVID shortened season where it's an historically bad bullpen. You get last year where you're blowing 30 plus saves. And now you got this year. Like, seriously, anyone who goes into that fucking bullpen becomes shit. I don't know what the cause of it is. I don't know if it's the Phillies stink. I just don't. I really don't know. I don't know if it's anything. I just can't explain it. I can't. It's just that whoever goes into that bullpen, whether you are a guy from the minor leagues, whether you're a guy that's been on this team for a little bit, whether you're a guy that you're trading for, signing in free agency, if you step foot into that Phillies bullpen with that Phillies uniform on, you are going to stink. You are going to stink. But the Phillies kind of do regret not re-signing Hector Neris. kind of do think they regret that a little bit because he was really good in the 8th inning last year. Wasn't good as the closer, though, but he was still very good in the 8th inning. I bet they're missing that because I do believe his. Actually, I want to check on Hector Neris, actually. His stats so far this year for the Astros because I know he got a good, decent contract with the Astros this year. So if I look at his stats this year, I know the start of the season he was actually like really, really good. So in 23 games this year for the Astros, that is 21 innings, 22 strikeouts, a whip of .7, which is really good. He's 1-2 with a 2.11 ERA. Pretty solid. Pretty solid out of Hector Neris for the Astros. Really, really solid. Honestly, what is his contract with the Astros this year? That's what I want to see. Contract. He signed a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Astros. So that's an annual salary of $8.5 million a year. There you go. There you go. And just looking at this game, literally, like not much happened. Like everything happened in either the beginning of the game or the end of the game. Middle of the game, it was basically a bore fest at this point. It really was. It was just Zach Wheeler had some jams that he got into, but he was battling basically throughout the entire game. He was. If you go into that first inning, like I'm not even blaming Zach Wheeler for anything out there. He battled the entire goddamn game. Go into that first inning. Guillorme leads off with a double. Marte singles, so you get a first and third situation. Then Francisco Lindor, like a chopper to Rhys Hoskins. Like, I have no idea what the hell he's trying to do in that situation. And he tries to prevent the run from scoring. He does it first. But then he tries to turn the double play. He tries to get the guy out at second base. Technically, the throw was in time, but the throw was off, which caused Camargo to come off the bag. And then Guillorme comes in to score, and in that situation, you get no outs. No outs. And then Alonso singles, bases loaded with no outs. Escobar grounds it to a fielder's choice. It's 2-0 ball game. Canna grounds out, 3-0 ball game. And then you get another bases loaded situation, which and then eventually Wheeler gets out of the inning. Basically, the rest of it is the Phillies, they scored their run in the top of the third inning. Odubel Herrera led off with a double, then Camargo walked, then Schwarber walked. So you get bases loaded once again with no outs. No outs. Alec Bohm grabs it to a double play, which scores a run. Bryce Harper walks, but then Nick Castellanos strikes out. Then you go through the rest of the game. Wheeler gets out of the third inning. Phillies go down 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Mets had a chance in the bottom of the fifth. Marte did triple, but Wheeler gets out of that situation. 1-2-3 in the sixth for the Phillies. Wheeler gets out of the sixth inning, which I believe would be his last inning in this ball game. Bottom of the seventh inning, after a leadoff single from Brad Hand, he gets 2 outs. Then Familia comes in to get the next out of the final out of that inning. Then you go into the top of the eighth. This is where the Phillies take the lead. Camargo leads off with a walk. Schwarber then grounds out, which they can't turn a double play, so Camargo goes to second. Alec Bohm works a walk. Bryce Harper, I have no idea how, because he smoked this ball. I want to see the baseball savant actually for this specific fly ball in the eighth inning to see how hard it was hit, because it was smoked off the bat. I want to see how hard that ball was hit. So if I go to this upcoming game, so let me see. Let me go to games here, game feed. If I go to the Phillies game, can I find the Phillies game? Where is it at? Here we go. If I go here, so let me see. Bryce Harper in the eighth inning. Bryce Harper. Fly out. Okay, it was 95 miles an hour. Okay, I thought it was actually smoked even more off the bat. So if I go to, okay, Harper flies out. Nick Castellanos go ahead 3-run bomb, makes it 4-3. Gene Segura then singles, so you still got more situations. He's still second and still third. Rhys Hoskins can't bring him in. Seranthony Dominguez in the eighth inning. 1-2-3. Phillies 1-2-3 in the ninth. And then first pitch to Plummer by Corey Knebel. In the ninth inning, it goes deep. That's his first hit of his career, first home run of his career. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And then he retires the rest of the order. Phillies come up in the top of the 10th. Ghost runner on base, which is Bryson Stott. Oh, yeah, also in the bottom of the ninth inning. Roman Quinn comes into the ball game. So Roman Quinn goes into center field. Odubel Herrera moves to right field. So you don't have Nick Castellanos anymore. So you go into that top of the 10th inning. Schwarber fouls out. Great play by Escobar, honestly, in foul territory. Bohm grounds out. Bryce Harper gets intentionally walked. And then Roman Quinn, thank you for coming to the ball game. You had no chance in that bat whatsoever. I don't even know why you're on this fucking team. Roman Quinn is not a good player. I don't understand why there's so many guys on Twitter, so many dunderheads on Twitter, so many idiots on Twitter that think Roman Quinn should be an everyday goddamn ball player, because you know what? I don't know why they think this, because Roman Quinn fucking sucks. He shouldn't be playing Major League Baseball. He shouldn't be sniffing the major leagues. But you know why he's always in the major leagues? Is because Matt Klentak and Andy McPhail. That is why. That is why Roman Quinn is always sniffing the major leagues, because of freaking Andy McPhail and Matt Klentak not drafting well, not developing well. That is the fucking reason why. There you go. That's always why we're also seeing Odubel Herrera so much. Also, hopefully Mickey Moniak and what he's doing down in his rehab assignment, hopefully that's a spark for him. Hopefully. Hopefully it is. I can't guarantee it, because you go to that bottom of the 10th inning, gets Lindor out, Alonso intentionally walked, Escobar, who was 0 for 4 on the night, I instantly called it. It was going to be a walk-off. I just called it right there. 0 for 4 a night. Yep, he's going to get a hit. That's exactly what happened. Mets win the ball game 5-4. Phillies are now 6 games below 500, and I believe now, if I look at the standings so far, so I'm going to go to the MLB standings right here, see how many games back the Phillies technically are right now. So if we go to the National League, Phillies are 10.5 games behind the Mets. Oh boy. And divisions was, even though I was never calling for a division this year, that's still embarrassing at Memorial Day. It is. It really is. Looking at some of the other checks right here. W says, yep, very dead game. M2C says, LOL, that's what you get for treating Mets fans like garbage. I don't know why you're coming to me to say that. I treat most everyone with respect. I don't trash talk. That is not my MO. That's just not me. But okay. W responding to that. Honestly, you do have a point there, W. Prickly says, I completely agree with this statement. Moniak is going to be back tomorrow. Okay, there you go. Channel name says, this early in the season, and I'm looking for other things to do with my time than watching a Phillies baseball game. M2C says, we respect Phillies fans and we love Citizens Bank Park, bro. Citizens Bank Park is one of the best parks in Major League Baseball. Channel name says, I love your coverage, even though our team sucks. Thank you, channel name. I appreciate you always joining in the thing. You may laugh at Nick Plummer, is a former first-round draft pick by the Cardinals who wasn't finding it. We took a chance on him, and he's been raking dudes legit and great in the field. He is a prospect. I'm not even trying to shit on Nick Plummer. I'm just like, really, like, Nick Plummer, like a guy that's, I understand like the entire story, but all that's just like me like being angry in the moment. Like seriously, like a dude who hasn't had a major league hit yet. Like that's the guy that kills you. Like, come on, you could have retired him a little bit easier, but no, it just didn't happen like that. But still, yeah, congratulations to Nick Plummer and all that stuff, like all that. Man. M2C says, fun beating Philly down there when in their own home too. Oh yeah, man, Mets fans overrun Citizens Bank Park at this point. That's what it is. Citizen says, it's good that you can laugh. It's healthy, better than crying. You're just proving my point even more, M2C. So we got some a little bit back and forth in the chat right here, which is always nice to see there. But yeah, just looking at some of his games, looking at the box score for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber 0 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Alec Boehm 0 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. His average is now down to 274. Bryce Harper, hitless in this ballgame, 0 for 3, but he also did have 2 walks. Nick Castellanos 1 for 4 with the huge go-ahead 3-run shot, which didn't matter in the end. Gene Segura went 2 for 4 in this ballgame. Rhys Hoskins 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Shocker, shocker. J.T. Realmuto 1 for 4. Odubel Herrera 1 for 4. Johan Camargo 0 for 2 with 2 walks. And then Bryson Stott didn't get it at bat because he was a pinch runner. Runners in scoring position, Phillies were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And looking at the rest of looking at the pitching so far. Zach Wheeler, who I believe was completely far away from the problems. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 3 runs. 1 of those was earned. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts on 101 pitches. His ERA is now 3.16. So yeah, I'm not blaming Zach Wheeler for anything like that. The defense was completely trash in that first inning. Brad Hannon is in his 2/3 of an inning of work, allowed 1 hit. Familia only needed 4 pitches to retire that part of the inning. Seranthony Dominguez, good in his 8th inning on 11 pitches, 1 strikeout. ERA is down to 2. And Corey Knebel, shit. Inning and a third, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. So I guess the ghost runner doesn't count as an earned run. I guess technically Should be 2 earned runs, but I guess the ghost runner just doesn't count. Yeah, M2C. I don't worry about it, dude. Honestly, you can shit on the Phillies all you want. They deserve to get shit on at this point. Always, they completely deserve on it. Location. Knievel was not even close to where JT wanted the ball. Yeah, I have no idea what's wrong with Knievel. I just don't. He looked fine at the beginning of the season, but ever since then, he just. I know they keep saying things about his curveball to where he added something to his curveball, and it's not as good as it used to be, and that's what's affecting his curveball. I just don't know what's wrong with Knievel. I really don't know. M2C says, always love the fans in the city, but this could be New York's division if things keep up. Oh, yeah, Mets are running away with the division right now. Like, I would love to be the typical haha LOL Mets that's eventually going to happen, but I just don't see with the Mets right now this year with the way they're playing. Their best 2 pitchers are injured and just everything like that. So the Mets right now, they look like a completely different ball club. They look confident in themselves. Buck Showalter completely changed the culture there. They look like a much better team. A team that's definitely going to, contend. So, yeah, they completely did everything right. Phillies right now, I just don't know. I don't know. Joe Girardi, I don't know how he's not fired yet. I don't know. Let's go Mets. BJ says, "Let's go Mets. Come to New York and celebrate with us." I as a Philadelphia fan, man, I just cannot put myself up to that. I cannot. As much as my Philadelphia teams suck, I am a Philadelphia fan I completely blank there, but through thick and thin, I guess. Philadelphia fan. I am. Phillies aren't done yet. Playoffs, technically, yes, are still possible for the Phillies. I did stress at the beginning of the year, the Phillies were not going to win the division with the Braves and the Mets in this division. I stressed a wild card, third or second wild card spot. But I know their schedule technically does get easier as the season comes to an end. Their schedule gets a lot easier. It does. They're playing a lot of bad teams upcoming in the next upcoming months. A lot of games against the Reds, Pirates, Cubs, all those other teams, Nationals a lot of times as well. Can I rely on them to do that? I don't know. I don't know. Can firing Joe Girardi spark something in his club? Can bringing in I don't even care who you hire at this point, just someone that can come in and change this culture, because the culture really needs to be changed with this team. It's just too much stink. There's too much of a losing culture in this ball club. They need to find something to spark it, because there's way too many good players on this team for it to be this bad. It really is, especially in that lineup. Nick Castellanos is too good to be slumping right now, even though it does look like he's getting his bat back. Bryce Harper continuing to carry the team as always. Kyle Schwarber is even though he's not a guy that's going to hit for average, he's a guy that can go on spurts with home runs. Still really haven't seen that yet. Something's just got to change. W says, wish we could have Diaz on our team, but nope, stuck with Knievel and Familia. That's how it is. That's definitely how it is at this point. Shaded View Production says, do you feel the team has quit on Girardi? Possibility. It's definitely a possibility there. I couldn't tell you, man. I really couldn't tell you. But if Joe Girardi somehow is like, I just don't know. I don't know. And yeah, Joe Girardi to me, it really isn't the main problem at this point. But you need to do something. You just can't. You need to either hold accountability or something like that, or just make a change. Make a change to spark the team. You just got to do it. You can't let this sit on it for a while. You just can't. M2C says, and very dangerous to Phillies. It can hurry. Let Philly get the 500, then anything goes. Laura says, tonight was not Joe's fault, but the longer you put guys off on firing him, the worse it's going to be later. Try and turn it around while there's still a chance. He's lost the locker room. Don't fight for him. Yeah, basically there. They didn't fight for him. Okay, that's what you're trying to say. Philly is lacking defense and strong starters other than Nola. Oh, yeah, basically with the start. Honestly, I know Eflin had a bad start yesterday, but the previous 2 starts before yesterday's was really good by Zach Eflin. Overall, I still don't think the starters have been the main issue. Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola have been really good this year. Nola has been really more of a surprise with how bad he was last year. Kyle Gibson, I've always stressed this, he is hit or miss. He is very hit or miss. He's a veteran out there. He's been around the bump. He's going to eat innings up. He's going to give you his good starts, and he's going to give you his bad starts. Same thing with Zach Eflin. That's what basically Zach Eflin and Kyle Gibson are basically the same thing. When Zach Eflin is on, he's really good. When Zach Eflin isn't on, he is not good. Same thing with Kyle Gibson. Ranger Suarez, he was never going to be the guy that he was last year. He's not going to be sub-2 ERA Ranger Suarez. That's just not what it's going to be. Like I said, if he can find a way to be a mid-3 to a low-4 ERA, that's probably what you're going to get out of Ranger. But his past couple of starts really haven't, looked good. I don't know if he can find a way to bounce back. I just can't tell you. But I still don't think that the starters have been the main issue with this team. I don't. Girardi isn't the problem. Philly has no defense on base. Poor pitching aside from Seranfi, Dominguez, Nola, and Wheeler. Yeah, their defense is absolutely trash, especially this month. It's been absolutely more terrible than it is. Joe Girardi was great in New York, but it's a different story in Philadelphia now. Now I know why the Mets did not hire him. If you go to Joe Girardi back with the Yankees, he had a very stacked Yankees. I know Phillies technically in the lineup wise they're stacked, but the Yankees, they had A-Rod, Jeter, all that stuff. They're a stacked lineup during that point. Had a great bullpen. They still had Mariano Rivera. And then even in the later years when you got Judge, when you got Stan, when you got all this other stuff as well, they were still really good Yankees teams. Honestly, because their bullpen was so good, it was hard to mismanage that bullpen, especially when you had one of the best closers in history back there in Rivera. When the Phillies don't have, a below-average bullpen, it's going to be hard to manage that bullpen. But still, even though you got it, I know, sometimes, yes, when your number is out, when your number is called, you got to find a way. It's just, I don't know. Knebel is pretty good. Knebel at this point, I know they signed him to be a closer. I know he hasn't been a closer for years. I know he's still a very solid guy. But right now, the Phillies just don't have a true closer. That's been one of their main issues. Knebel was good to start the year, but has just been falling off ever since. That's basically it right there. Damien says Girardi is a terrible manager. Misuse of the bullpen and substitutions is his MO. He won with a ready-made Yankees team in 2009. Time to show him the door. Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure how the Phillies don't fire him at this point. Just fire him at this point, yes, Joe Girardi, I do believe, needs to be canned. I don't believe he's been the major issue with this team, but you need to find. But he's it's not saying it's not his fault because he has had his faults, a lot of faults. But it's not the entire reason. But you need to spark something, and firing the manager right now should be that thing. I don't know if he's going to be fired during this homestand. He could be. I just don't know. I just can't tell you that. I do believe he does need to be fired, though, even though I'm not blaming him for every single thing. But right now, you need to. You need to at this point. Laura says, don't get it twisted. Mets fan, and the only reason he isn't our manager right now is because we're the Mets. It was during the Wilson era. The team had no vision, saw a better opportunity in Philly. Buck is a great baseball teacher. Girardi lacks that insight. Mr. 89 says, managed to get a free ticket by buying groceries at Giant. I see that as a sign of bad times. LOL, could be wrong. Let's see. Casey says, no DeGrom, no Scherzer. Nimmo misses 2 games and still gets swept. If you can't get one of those games, call it. Robert says, y'all should get Charlie Manuel back, if only. He still works within the organization, though. He does. I believe he works more in the upper offices at this point. But I doubt Charlie's going to come back to managing. I'm not sure when/if they fire Joe Girardi. I'm not sure what his replacement is going to be. It's most likely going to be the bench boss, for the whoever the bench coach is for the Phillies right now. His name is slipping my mind currently, but who knows? Because I honestly don't even know what managers are even on the market at this point that are available to even hire. So that's the thing right there. I know Dave Dombrowski, I believe he was the one that hired Alex Cora in Boston, I believe. I believe he was the guy that hired him. I'm not sure entirely. I'm not sure if Alex Cora came before Dave Dombrowski was in Boston or if it was after that. I'm not entirely sure there. Actually, let me look at that up a little bit. Look at Alex Cora. When was he hired by the Boston Red Sox? That's now piquing my interest. So if I go to Alex Cora right here, if I go to his thing, manager. Let's see. Okay. He was the Astros bench coach in 27 when they won the World Series. On November 14th of 2018, he was hired as the manager, it looked like. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming it is right there. No, actually, 2018, that's when they won the World Series. So I'm assuming at some point in 2017, he was hired by the Red Sox. Let's see. Okay, 2018, August 3rd. No, what am I saying right here? When did they hire? October 22nd of 2017. That's when they hired him. Okay. I was just like, what the hell am I thinking of right here? So October 22nd there. When was Dave Dombrowski hired by the Red Sox? Let's see, Dave Dombrowski. When was Dave Dombrowski hired by the Red Sox? Red Sox. He was on August 18th. Okay, he was with the Red Sox since 2015. Okay, so he was one of the guys that hired Cora. Casey says, should have pushed for Bob Melvin when the A's were shopping. Well, technically, they still had Joe Girardi at that point, so I don't think they were going to fire him to hire Bob Melvin at that point. So I guess that was out of the works there. Charlie's like 105. Hey, man, don't disrespect Charlie Manuel. Don't disrespect him. Oh, boy. This Phillies team. So interesting. So interesting. Phillies are an anomaly right now. They just are. I just can't. Like, I can't even fathom this team right now. I'm also just like scrolling through Twitter just to see if there's anything right here. Oh, here we go. Phillies have okay. Is there anything right here? Phillies have option Bailey Falter to AAA. Okay, that's nothing there. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Let's see. Alec Coffey just posted something about Bryce Harper's quote after the game. Okay. Let's see. This is Bryce Harper's quote after the game and also discussing being walked off twice in the same road trip. Bryce Harper says, I mean, getting walked off twice in games we should have won, it's always tough. Harper said, losing games in any situation is tough, but situations like that where it's a big home run, big homer, and you lose, it's crushing. That's just how it is. But at the same time, we got to forget about this one, move on to tomorrow, and get ready to go. I keep saying it, but we got to be ready to go. We got to play. We got to keep going. We got to keep grinding. We can't be happy about the losses. We can't be. We've got to stay as an even keeled as we can. We can't get too high. We can't get too low. And like I say, we play a full season for a reason, but at the same time, we've got to go. We got to play. So Bryce Harper just sticking to the old same cliche stuff as he's always going to be saying at this point, which at the end of the, yes, it is the right thing to say at this point. Like he's not going to say it's just, and like, yeah, when I look at this Bailey Falter has been optioned to AAA, it really just thinks about like, you know, yeah, those extra day of rest by Joe Girardi, giving the starters an extra day of rest by putting Bailey Falter out there in Friday's game. Yeah, it really worked wonders for you there, Joe. Really worked wonders. AA says, why can't I get Phillies postgame live with Barkan and Batalico? Well, the game tonight was on ESPN, so Phillies, I don't think NBC Sports Philly does any type of coverage when the Phillies play on national television. So, like yesterday, they were on Fox. They didn't do anything for that. And today, since they were on ESPN, they're not going to do anything for that either. And also, I do think the Phillies next Saturday are on Fox when they play the Angels at home. So, yeah, there's not a nationally televised game there. And if I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, just upcoming. So you come back home starting tomorrow, Memorial Day. You play the New York Giants, the San Francisco Giants. I don't know why I had football on the mind, or I've had New York on the mind because we've been playing New York so much. Got San Francisco starting this week, 3-game series. Gibson, Suarez, Nola on the mound. And then you got the Angels this weekend. You are going to have an off day on Thursday upcoming. So you got the Los Angeles Angels. Eflin, Wheeler, and Gibson are going to be on the mound for that series. Sadly, we're not going to be seeing Shohei on the mound in that series. That would have been very exciting. That definitely would have been very, very, very exciting. W says, why are we always nationally televised? Let us die in peace. BJ says, I believe Charlie Manuel said Philadelphia is a special place for him, so never he could manage the Phillies again. Jack come back to Florida in 2011 after being fired from the team. Let's see. Should have pushed for. Oh yeah, that's you agreeing with Casey up there. Yeah, if I look at that definitely is going to suck. Not going to see Shohei on the mound this weekend when the Angels come to town. I definitely do want to get tickets for this upcoming Angel series just because I do want to see Mike Trout and Shohei. That's just something I don't want to miss. I'm trying to look for other nationally televised games just to see how much more we have left. Just the Spike W right here, just because he doesn't like the nationally televised games. So we got Fox this Saturday upcoming, June 4th. We got an exclusive Peacock game on June 19th, a Sunday at 12:05 against the Washington Nationals. We got another ESPN game on July 3rd against the St. Louis Cardinals at home. And the second half of the season, do we have any nationally televised games in the second half? That'll be very funny. There's another Peacock game against the Chicago Cubs at home at 12:05. Am I reading this right? Am I reading this schedule right? Saturday, July 30th against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fox. That's a matchup Fox wants to broadcast. Philadelphia Phillies and Pittsburgh Pirates. Am I reading that right? Like, seriously. Am I seriously reading that right? Oh, God. Looking at the rest of the schedule. Oh, boy, another Fox game against the Mets in August. The rest of the schedule, it looks like that last Mets game on Fox, August 20th on a Saturday. That's our last nationally televised broadcast. Casey says Fox may flex that game out. Who knows? Maybe the Phillies are actually better at that point. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't. Oh, God. Scott says he would say the toughest job in baseball has to be the Phillies starter. Oh, yeah, definitely at this point. The toughest job in Phillies baseball right now is either being a starting pitcher or Bryce Harper. That's basically it. Because Bryce Harper, he's the DH. He really can't do anything else besides hit, and he's been hitting. So I feel bad for him. I really do. KC says could have been Eflin, Wheeler, Gibson against the division leader. Instead, Girardi, genius plan, set an awful tone. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why he went for a bullpen game in the first game of the series. I have no idea why. M2C says Mets has injuries and such. Their top players are hurt. I guess the Mets have more heart. The Mets just don't quit. That's their issue. That's the one thing that's, I'll give to the Mets. Regardless of who is going down this year with injuries, they're still playing. They're still going out there giving 125, 50 point something percent every game. I don't know what number I just thought of there, but that was just thinking of something that was above 100. You know what I mean? Oh, God, no one will watch that Peacock game. Pennsylvania duel. Mr. 89 says, Phillies versus Pirates, going to be a showstopper. Oh, God. Like, seriously, I thought I was reading that wrong when I saw that, but no, it said in all capital letters, Fox. Phillies versus Pirates. God. Just why? Why is that a nationally televised game? And now I'm seeing all the updates on Twitter that Bailey Falter has been sent to AAA. It's nothing to me. That means nothing to me. Oh my God. It means absolutely nothing to me. Oh my God. This Phillies team. I can only laugh at this point. It really is. I can only laugh. I can really only just laugh. I can only just laugh. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I was answering a text message, but I don't know. This Phillies team is just so I don't know. I don't know how to put words into thought here. I just can't. I just really can't at this point. KC says, good news, 3 wildcard teams. Bad news, Padres probably have 1 locked. Yeah, that's probably it. And if the Braves play better, it is not looking great. Yeah, if I look at the baseball standings just in general here. So if I go to ESPN, just look at their standings right here for MLB. MLB, or let me do that, make it easier on myself. So if I go to the standings right here, If I go to the divisions wild card, here we go. So if I look at the National League wild card, Padres, they have the first wild card spot locked up. They are 30-17. They're 4.5. They have a 4.5 game lead in the first wild card spot. St. Louis Cardinals, they have the second wild card spot locked up currently. They are a half game above the San Francisco Giants, who are in the third wild card spot. In the teams that are behind the San Francisco Giants, the Atlanta Braves, who are 3 games back, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 3.5 games back, the Colorado Rockies, who are 4.5, and the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 5. Teams that are behind the Phillies, the Marlins, Pirates, Cubs, Nationals, Reds. Oh boy. Man, if I look at the Phillies right, it still says they have a positive plus run differential. Run differential. That is weird. That is weird. For the amount of times they've been blowout recently, especially by the Mets, they still have a positive run differential. I have no idea how that's possible. Look at the Phillies too. They are 11-13 at home, and they are 10-14 on the road. My God, they really struggle at home. Honestly, it kind of does, even though the record technically doesn't show it, it kind of does feel like they're somewhat of a better team on the road. I don't know why that's possible, but it is. It just is. Julian says Phillies have the second worst record in their division. Arizona is the only team with a worst in division record. Yeah, that's definitely a problem right there. Definitely. M2C says Odubel can only hit singles, no defense. Bohm, no defense. Yeah. I would say the one thing for Bohm, he's been a lot better defensively, especially like he really hasn't had like that, like he'll have that game where he has bad moments, like not as crazy as the game he had earlier on in the season, but it doesn't look like he takes those frustration moments into the batter's box, if you know what I mean. He, in my honest opinion, has been far from the issues. Like Alec Bohm, yes, he's a bad defender. He's going to have his bad moments in the field, definitely. But as long as he doesn't take that frustration into the batter's box and he's hitting to where he's hitting right now in that 270 to near 300 range, where he was a couple of weeks ago, far from the problem. Far from the problem. W says Orioles only have one less win to us. I want to cry. Wait, are you serious? Are you serious? Phillies have 21 wins. Like, holy shit, they do. Holy shit, they do. They do. Holy shit. Holy shit. We have one more win than the Orioles. You gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. That's funny. That is actually really funny. Maurice says, love that groove pitch to the rookie to tie the game. I want to vomit. KC says, Philly's best chance may be hoping the Padres, Dodgers, Angels, Brewers wear down and do a number on the Mets, try to catch up bit by bit. Yeah, the Mets are definitely, if I want to see the rest of the Mets schedule, actually, if I go to that. So if I go to the Mets, because I know the Mets schedule is definitely going to be not as easy as the Phillies upcoming, even though that's still the Mets are a completely different team than the Phillies right now. So if I go to their schedule upcoming, they got, after this Phillies series, they got a 3-game set against the Nationals, so that's going to be an easy series for them. They got, okay, this will be a tough stretch for them. 4 games against the Dodgers on the road, 3 games in San Diego, 3 games against the Angels. So that's a tough, stretch right there, a tough road trip for them. Then they come back home. They play the Milwaukee Brewers. That's going to be tough as always. Then they play Miami for 4 games at home, 2 games in Houston, 3 games in Miami. So they're seeing the Miami Marlins for 7 games in a span of like a week. Play Houston again, Texas Rangers, Cincinnati Reds. So then the schedule lightens up a little bit after that, West Coast road trip. Miami again. They're seeing Miami a lot in the recent stretch. Braves, Cubs. If we go to the second half of the schedule for them, San Diego, Yankees, Miami, Nationals, a 5-game series against the Braves. I guess there's a scheduled doubleheader in there. Reds again, Phillies, Braves, Phillies, Yankees, Rockies, Dodgers at home, Nationals, Pirates, Miami, Chicago, Pirates, Milwaukee, Oakland, Miami, Atlanta, Washington, and that's the rest of the season for them. So yeah, their schedule is pretty, evened out, I would say, for them. I would say that. They haven't played the Marlins yet. Okay. So the Mets haven't played the Marlins yet? That's weird. That is really weird. The way the schedule is shape. Yeah, no, they haven't played the Marlins yet. Wow, that is surprising. That is really surprising. It's like what I said during the Braves series when I said it's weird that the Phillies. This is the first time playing the Braves this year. That is weird. Thomas says, "Do you guys think games are rigged?" No. No. No, I don't. I definitely do not. Here we go. Alex Coffey writes about Joe Girardi right here. Joe Girardi was asked by Jim Salisbury of NBC Sports Philadelphia about whether he is worried about his job security. This is Joe Girardi's response. I don't worry about my job. I'm never worried about my job. I don't worry about my job. I've got to do my job. It's the business of being a manager. I don't worry about it. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of don't worries right there. So how many times has he said I don't worry? I don't worry. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a positive. I was going to say a couple of negatives don't make a positive there, or 3 negatives don't make a positive. Oh God. Let's see. Pause says the Mets next time they play against the Phillies will be dressed as priests because daddy isn't good enough. You have to call them father. That's the first time I've heard that. That is the first time I've heard that. Nervous word vomit sounds. Yeah, the amount of times they said, I'm not worried about my job. I am not worried about my job. I think you're kind of worried there, Joe. I think you're kind of worried there. Wait, I got to send this tweet to my group chat just to see their reactions because this is hilarious. This is an hilarious quote by Joe Girardi. That is freaking hilarious. Oh my God. That is an hilarious quote. Oh my goodness, Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi. Any more funny tweets here? Any more Joe Girardi stuff? Let's see. Phillies 10.5 games out of first place on Memorial Day is nothing, and nothing is going to change. That is by John Stolness. The Good Fight. Let's see what else. Oh, here we go. Joe Girardi on how the Phillies can get out of this rut. You got to fight. You can see there is fight in there. Look at that hit by Castellanos. Look at the walk Bohm gets. There's fight. It's just that we've got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and stop making mistakes. Okay, so you're pointing out there's fight in the batter's box. But where's the fight in the pitching staff? Where's the fight in the bullpen? Where, like, seriously, where is there a guy in the bullpen that says, give me the ball, Joe. I want the fucking ball. Let me go out there. Let me win a game for my team. Is there literally anyone in that bullpen that's going to say that? Is there anyone that's going to, ring on the phone to Joe Girardi saying, hey, Joe, give me the fucking ball? Is there anything like that? I don't know. I can't tell you that. Daniel says on the bright side, Castellanos broke his 75 plate homerless jump. Yeah, his bat has been getting better. I'm not sure, Daniel, if you're trolling in the chat right here because you're saying on the bright side, blah, 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 blah. AA says Girardi is wound too tight. He had some issues with the Yankees. Marie says at least Jim got to talk with Joe when he was awake. Oh, God. Kalani says, who cares about the other teams? Let's see. Anything else on Twitter? Oh boy. If you're waiting for Hunter Brody to go live for his recap of this series, he's not doing that until tomorrow morning. And also, yeah, all those other links in the description down below. Go check out BrodesMedia. Definitely go do that. My God. This Phillies team, though. Man. W. We were right. Like, I know you brought up way earlier in the thing about how yesterday's video was good. I told you, man. For some reason, it's Phillies embarrassments, man. But hey, I enjoy when a lot of people join the live feed. I definitely do appreciate when everyone is in here and in the live feed. I appreciate everything when everyone joins. I'm not taking that for granted whatsoever. I appreciate everyone that is here commenting in the live feed. I definitely appreciate everyone who drops the like on the like button and also hits the sub button as well. I would greatly appreciate everyone. I am grateful for everything like that. So thank you for everyone that is also joining in the stream. But we're going to keep rolling here. Why not? Having a good time here. Making fun of the Phillies. Why not? Dylan says, I'd rather choose to go to work instead of watching the Phillies play on TV now. Sadly, this is my job. Sadly, this is part of my job. I have to watch the Phillies every day. Oh, God. Let's see. Rattle says, offense need to wake up. Injure Harper can't save you forever. That's definitely a thing. That Dodgers series in Los Angeles seems so long ago. Seriously, everything... Everything that I keep bringing this up. Seriously, the Phillies had their most exciting moment on a West Coast road trip when no one was watching. Like, seriously, they were in Seattle. Those games were like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night on the weekday. Those games in Los Angeles, they were 10 o'clock at night on a Friday and a Saturday. No one's watching that, especially when the Sixers were playing at that point. No one was watching that. And those were the most exciting games of the year. Oh, my God. Yeah, definitely have a good evening, Stott. Thank you for that comment right there. Andrew says, great show, bud. At least Wheeler is a stud. Nitty says, take out Nick, so then Harper gets walked to Quinn. Then you intentionally walk Alonso again to get to Escobar for the second time in this game. I wonder why you get burnt. There you go. Daniel, I completely believe you are trolling right now. I completely believe about that right now. I see the New York Rangers logo there. I see you keep saying you're on the bright side. Mr. 89 says, I think the Dodgers series win is going to be the highlight of the Phillies season. Please let it don't be that. Please let it don't. Oh, my God. I got to sneeze. I'm feeling it coming. Oh, my God. KC says Harper locking that DH spot has, it definitely is. It is definitely a cascading effect. The defense gets worse, allows more runs, taxes the starters, taxes the bullpens. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're saying thank God for the DH so Bryce can still play, but it's still a hinder because Bryce can't play the field. And it takes away a lot of the stuff that you could have done with the lineup to where guys that could have get days off from the field that can play the DH, it's taking that away because of Bryce's injury. And sadly, he's most likely not going to play the field the rest of the season. So you're very hindered to that. That's positive about the DH, but also the very negative about the DH. That's, part of that aspect. Rattle says, how is this guy? How is the guy with the injury the most consistent hitter? Mr. W says a 111 watching. Yeah, there are a lot of people in this video. I do definitely appreciate everyone joining up. I really appreciate that. Jose says the Phillies have to revamp their pitching and defense because pitching is 80% of the game, and with the good defense, you win the games. Yeah, that's definitely a good point right there. Definitely. Let's see. Oh, wait, someone brought up. I just refreshed Twitter, and someone brought up an exact copy of a quote from Doc Rivers on that Joe Girardi quote. That's really funny. If I look at this Joe Girardi quote where he says, I don't worry about my job. I'm never worried about my job. I don't worry about my job. There's a quote right here from Doc Rivers. I don't worry about my job. I think I do a terrific job. And if you don't, then you should write it because I worked my butt off to get this team here. Rivers told reporters. When I first got here, no one picked us to be anywhere. And again, this year, the same thing. So if that's how anyone feels, oh my God. So identical. So identical. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. KC says the risk of signing two DH type guys in Schwarber and Castellanos. Ryan says, man, I thought you all would help my Braves out this weekend. Boy, I was wrong. That's why you don't rely on the Phillies. That's why you do not rely on the Phillies. At least Doc Rivers got his team to the playoffs. Yeah, it's still a bright spot. Like, yeah, I don't blame everything that happened with the Sixers and Doc Rivers, but that was just like really funny when you saw like two quotes that were really identical to each other. I did not expect that. I did not. I completely forgot about that Doc quote. I completely did. I completely forgot about that. That is hilarious that happened. I completely forgot about that. My goodness. That is funny. NBA Finals is set. Looks like we're getting Warriors and Celtics. Hopefully that'll be an entertaining series. Wonder if Golden State will continue their dynasty. Let's see if they get another ring for those guys. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all that. Hopefully that'll be entertaining. And hopefully the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs, hopefully they'll be entertaining. Been way more entertaining than the Phillies right now. That's for sure. That would definitely be way more entertaining, honestly. So what we got? Oh, now you're just really trolling, Daniel. Now you're just really trolling. On the bright side, you guys still have the best Philly cheesesteaks. Like, seriously. No one cares. Oh, God. Dylan says that error in the first inning cost us big and proves that defense is really bad. Yes. Yes, it does. Rattle says, how come the bullpen, starting rotation, and offense can never be on the same page? It's really annoying. I don't know. I don't know. The Phillies are the most consistently inconsistent team in this goddamn planet, and I have no idea why. I don't know. Jose said, I said that because the 69 Mets had outstanding pitching, Seaver, Kuzman, Gentry, Ryan, and solid defense. Oh yeah, the Phillies in the during the run that they had from 2007 to 2011. They had insane pitching. They had really good defense. I would say the only thing that hindered those Phillies teams was the offense just got worse every year, especially when they got into the playoffs. 2010 against the Giants, they got shut down by their pitching staff. The offense just wasn't the same, really. Especially in the really, honestly, the Phillies could have beat the Yankees, I believe, in 2009. The pitching was just better. The pitching was their main downfall in 2009 because Hamels wasn't good. Hamels was terrible in 2009. Relying on Jamie Moyer, Joe Blanton, Brett Myers, a washed up Pedro Martinez. You did have Cliff Lee, though. That was one of the bright spots, but really nothing else there. But yeah, really nothing much. The bullpen wasn't as good as it was in 2008. But then Ruben Amaro made it his goal to get as much starting pitching as possible. Go out and get Roy Halladay, Roy Oswalt, getting Cliff Lee back. And you have one of the best rotations in MLB history. That those Phillies teams should have won another World Series at least. Sadly, they just couldn't get the job done. Sadly. Amazing New York Mets says, with no defense, the bullpen is not motivated to mess up their ERA. Dr. Drew says, interest of full disclosure, I am a Mets fan, but I can relate to wasting the prime years of starting pitching, Wheeler and Nola. Honestly, right now, you're also wasting the prime of Bryce Harper at this point. You're wasting the prime of Bryce Harper. MVP number, like, seriously, Bryce Harper has lived up to his contract at this point. Like, yeah, the first year, he put up good numbers, like average, even though like the numbers in his first year definitely weren't as close to what they were, last year and that stuff, and what he's doing this year. Still put up 30 plus home runs and he had 100 plus RBIs. But right now, you need to find a way to win for Bryce Harper. You really do. And Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. You got to find a way. You do. Rattle says they just keep teasing us with things of quality and then just tank. Can't they be consistently bad so they don't get our hopes up? If only, man. If only. Casey says it feels so mental with the defense. It's not crazy plays. It's simple ones they don't make. Can forgive for not being able to make spectacular plays, but they have, exactly. Sometimes they make simple plays look impossible. Doug says 150 plus years of losing. The Philadelphia Phillies. Yep. Phillies are probably one of the most losing organizations in history of sports. And they're one of the oldest. What, they first founded like the 1800s? Late 1800s, 1890s? Only 2 World Series. Man. My God. Why couldn't the Philadelphia Athletics stay here and the Phillies moved? But all jokes aside, still. Philadelphia fan, I ride and die with my teams, even through the harsh times. And sadly, we are going through that right now. Like, seriously, the last time I saw a good Phillies team, I was in grade school. I am 24 years old now. The last time the Phillies were good, when I was in 7th grade, that was the last time they were good. You really want the Athletics in Philly right now? Hey, they got 4 World Series, though. They did. They got 4 World Series. No one wants the A's as their team. Oh, my God. Hey, Clint, Phillies have way too much down to be this bad. Way too much. There's way too many players on this team underachieving. Way too many. Nick Plummer. You got your pipes cleaned by Plummer. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's funny. That's a good joke. 4 World Series and 4 fans to watch them. Yeah, they'll probably move into Las Vegas as soon as, sooner than rather than later at this point. That's probably what's going to happen with the A's. I feel bad for them, though. Philly should hire Chase Utley as their manager. I wish we can revive Chase Utley, like bring the fountain of youth. I wish. Bring the revival of Chase Utley. Bring that 2007 form of Utley. My God, he was deadly. In the 2008 form of Utley. I would love it. Seriously, I would love to bring the fountain of youth. Bring back Ryan Howard. Bring back Chase Utley. Bring back Cliff Lee and all that stuff. R.I.P. Doc Holliday. But seriously, fountain of youth for every Phillies great and try to just mish him up on the team. Seriously, just surround them with Bryce Harper. If the lineup balls out, do you think they can make a run? If the lineup plays to their potential, then you got to worry about the bullpen. If the lineup plays to their potential, and the starters can give you quality starts, maybe. You are playing, your schedule does get easier as the season does go down the stretch in June, July, August, and September. If your lineup plays up to your potential, and if a lot of guys that are underachieving right now find a way to turn it around, maybe there's hope. But right now, there is no reason for hope in the Phillies right now. There really isn't. Maurice says, do you think if Kepler comes into town and sweeps the Phillies, does Dave fire Joe? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. 89 says, are the Marlins still a kryptonite? Yes. Rick Pitalico should replace Dave Dombrowski. Honestly, I don't even think it's Dave Dombrowski's fault. I honestly, I know there's a lot of people that are crucifying Dave Dombrowski, but he was brought in here. I know he's a guy that comes in for win now purposes. I understand that. But with Dave Dombrowski, he has a track record of building good ball clubs. He was responsible for, when the Marlins came to the league and they won the World Series. He was responsible for, the mid-2000s Detroit Tigers. He built that team from the ground up and built, consistently contending Detroit Tigers team. But yet, sadly, they didn't get the job done. But they were, more of a successful than not. And then he was brought into the Boston Red Sox. 2015. Built that team up. And they won the World Series. He has a track record for success in this league. And Dave Dombrowski, he stated this when he came to Philadelphia. He dropped everything with the Nashville Baseball Club. He came to Philadelphia. And he's literally trying to rework this organization from the ground up. He's trying to rework the farm system. like literally rework everything down there to try to fix the problem with the development system. He brought in Mattingly from the Yankees to be the farm director and everything, the head of development down there. And there was a lot of talk down there that it's a completely different atmosphere down in the minor leagues. I know the news just came out about the Phillies housing their minor league guys in hotels, which is very embarrassing for one of the highest, richest teams in the sport. That you're being cheap asses and putting people up in hotels. That's kind of embarrassing. That really is. But he's trying to reshape the league down there. He drafted Andrew Painter last year. I know Clintack was responsible for McAbell. He's trying to reshape it down there. So, and yeah, he's also trying to build a competitive ball club out here. So, it's not all on Dave Dombrowski. I think he still is the least of the worries of this team, in my honest opinion. He's trying to build this team from basically rebuild the surface from the ground up at this point, while trying to keep the team as competitive as possible. I think Dave sticks with Joe until at least the All-Star break. I'm still thinking about that. I feel like at this point you need to get rid of him at this point. I really don't think you should be waiting any longer, in my honest opinion. In this homestand, you got 6 games on this homestand. You got to do something. Maybe they wait for the off day on Thursday. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Dr. Drew says the Marlins are also the Mets' kryptonite, unfortunately. John says, as a Mets fan, I am enjoying the season so far, but it's still way too early for us to plan a parade in October. Conversely, the Phillies should not throw in the towel in late May. Like, yeah, I would love to stress that. I would, John. But it's just like the start of this year has really just like, there's just like no oomph. Like, there's no firepower. Like, I know, yeah, I get the schedule, the start of the year, these first 2 months have been brutal. But it's just like, it's been 1 week the offense is good, 1 week the starting pitching is good, 1 week the bullpen's good, or nothing clicks at the same time. We've seen a couple of spurts from the offense of what it could be. But then we see moments where the team just comes out flat, especially in your home stadium as well. So I don't know how. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's see. Mark says, considering how bad the Phillies have looked, 5 games back from the wild card isn't so bad. I think that's also granted by a lot of teams in the league, also really underachieving too, like the Atlanta Braves. They haven't looked good to start the year. The Marlins are a below 500 team. There are a lot of below 500 teams in the National League. So, and the Giants, they aren't looking as good as they were last year, but they're still a dangerous team. Cardinals, they'll eventually pull some black magic out of their asses, even though they are on a wild card spot. The Cardinals do it every year. They pull some type of black magic out of their asses and go on a major run. So that's just what the Cardinals are. I have no idea how they do it every year, but they do. Had to pay Castellanos and Schwarber somehow. Justin says Schwarber is really underwhelming. Yeah, right now Schwarber is really underwhelming. He's really woefully underachieving right now. Eric says Ayo Harper needs to get better. Oh, at this point, you're not. Harper looks like he's not going to get better for a little bit with the elbow. They move back. He's not going to start throwing till after the All-Star break. You're most likely not going to see Bryce in the field for the rest of the year. That's just at the point of who knows what happens in the offseason with Bryce in terms of the UCL. Who knows? Castellanos should not take right field. That's at that point. That's what you're stuck with. That's what you can't be playing Roman Quinn every day. You can't play Odubel Herrera every day in right field. You got to play Nick Castellanos. And sadly, with Bryce having to be the DH because of the UCL tear, that's what you're stuck with. Bryce being injured, it takes away a lot of the stuff that you could have done with the DH at the beginning of the year, to where you can implement guys who need days off from the field to use them as the DH. That's sadly, it's a bright spot for the DH that Bryce can still bat, but it's also, it hinders you a little bit because you can't utilize the DH the way you want it to. Damien says, if the defense continues into July, do you think the Phillies have a fire sale at the trade deadline, shed payroll, and retool in the offseason? Honestly, I don't think they'll have a fire sale. I do think they'll still shop for something at the offs in the trade deadline, most likely for bullpen pieces. I don't think it's going to be anything major, but who knows? Who knows? Eric says West Coast wild card. Casey says Braves haven't won 3 games or lost 3 games in a row this year. Will be interesting to see which way they break. I do think more than not, since I think the Braves are going through, a little bit of hangover. But yeah, also you do lose Freddie Freeman last year, so that's a huge loss for your locker room culture. But still, that's basically still the same team that won the World Series last year. So I would tend to believe that it turns around for them better than not for the Braves. Jose says the Phillies defense sucks. They are not going anywhere. Starting pitching is good, but the defense gives them other teams extra at bats. Raul says having a hard time absorbing all the positivity this man is exuding. LOL. Jesus. Man, the Phillies are still an interesting bunch. They definitely are. Dr. Drew says, also, how the hell do you not re-sign Freddie Freeman? And that's a good question. I don't know why they didn't do it. Maybe there was, I remember reading stuff about, Acuna doesn't like Freeman, but that interview, like he doesn't, like he didn't like Freeman at all or something like that. Or there was like a little bit of a back and forth, between like the manager and all that. Like they traded for Matt Olson and Freddie Freeman didn't even know that was going down. They traded for Olson and signed him instantly, and Freddie Freeman didn't know that was happening. So there might be some bad blood between Freeman and the front office there in Atlanta. Who knows? Who knows? But that Dodgers team is really stacked, though. Really. Really, really, really. Anything more on Twitter? Anything more? Anything more? It doesn't look like there's anything. Well, it is also almost 12:30, so that probably explains why there really isn't anything else. Man, what an interesting time it is right now with this Phillies team. Really, it is at this point. So you got the upcoming, series with the Giants upcoming, like I said earlier. So this is still the Mets schedule. I still have this up for some reason. Didn't even change it. So if we go to the Phillies, upcoming schedule. 3-game series at home against the San Francisco Giants. Tomorrow on Memorial Day, they'll be playing at 4:05. Kyle Gibson on the mound going up against Logan Webb. Looking at Logan Webb, he is 5-1 this year with a 3.54 ERA with a 1.26 WHIP. He won his previous, or did he get a decision in his previous game? He did not, it looks like. But still, he's still one of their best pitchers in that rotation. You got Rangers Suarez going on the mound Tuesday against Jacob Junis, and he is currently on the season. If I see, does he even have a record right now for the Giants? Man, it doesn't even show his stats right here. Let's see, stats. So if I go to this year, in 6 games played, he has started 4 of them. He is 2-1 with a 2.76 ERA. Joy. And then you got, for the final game of this series, it's going to be Aaron Nola going up against Carlos Rodon. And Carlos Rodon is one of the better pitchers in baseball. Well, his record doesn't show it. He is 4-4 this year with a 3.6 ERA, a 1.24 WHIP. Let's see. So you got Aaron Nola going up against them. Looking at Aaron Nola's numbers, honestly, I just want to see them this year. Nola is 2-4 with a 3.56 ERA and a 0.94 WHIP, though. The WHIP is really good for Aaron Nola. His stats really don't show how good he has been this year, but the WHIP really does. The WHIP shows how good he has been this year. Let's see. Doctor says, I had a pipe dream of the Mets getting Freeman, him and Alonso, 1-2 punch. Oof. Oh, boy. I would have been very upset if Freeman went to the Braves. Sir Meeple says, what pieces of value do we even have to available to trade to upgrade? That's a good question. That's a really good question. No idea. No idea. Rule says that kid homered for the Mets. It's a power bat. The speed off the bat was 112. Smoked. Jeez. What else? Go into that Giants series. So you got Gibson, Suarez, Nola. You get the off day on Thursday, so that's a much needed day off for our sanity. And then you get Zach Eflin on Friday against the Angels, going up against Chase Silseth. Is that how you pronounce his name? Silseth? Then you'll get Zach Wheeler going up against Michael Lorenzen. And then you'll get Kyle Gibson going up against Patrick Sandoval for the Angels. And then you go into that road trip against the Milwaukee Brewers a week after. You'll get an off day on the Monday between the Angels game and the Brewers game. So that's going to be, hope a nice day off there as well. How many more days off do the Phillies even have, in the upcoming month of June? Let me see. Let me go to the Phillies MLB website because that'll probably showcase it better than, what the ESPN does. So if I go to the month of June for the Phillies, they have 1 day off, 2 days off, they have 4 days off. So you get 2 days off in the first 2 weeks, and then you get 2 days off in the last 2 weeks of the month of June. Lefty says, as a Mets fan, even with 8.5 game lead on the Braves, I trust absolutely nothing. I guess, honestly, that's just life of a Mets fan right now. But, hey, your team is really good right now, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. Casey said, it just hit me. The Mets have no hit the Phillies, had a 6-run ninth inning comeback, and just swept them in a 9-inning tying home run. No more Mets for a bit. Yeah, after this series, the Phillies don't play the Mets until August. So, yeah, good thing. We don't have to see the Mets for a while. As I see some of the other Mets fans in the chat right here. Eric says, the no-hitter tonight or the comeback from the 6th, what was worse? No, I don't think anything tops the 7-1 lead in the 9th inning. Nothing's going to top that. Nothing's going to top that. Yeah, nothing is going to top that loss. Seriously. Like, you have a 7-1 lead going into the 9th inning. How do you lose that? That's your question mark. Like, seriously, you had that 7-1 blown lead to the Mets in the 9th inning. And then in the Dodgers series, a series that you probably should have swept because Sunday, you had 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. You're up 4-3. And you had 2 outs but no runners on. Should have won that game. Joey says Girardi time is coming to a close. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Casey says nothing tops that because of Kruk. In my opinion, the narration will live in infamy. Yeah, John Kruk he's a golden ticket. He really is. Hopefully everything is going well with the surgery that he had. I think it was like gallbladder surgery that he had. So hopefully everything's going well with him. Nick Plummer should have been on the opening day roster. I've been screaming for the Mets to call him up, but Dom is not a major league caliber hitter right now. Well, he lived up to the moment right there. Definitely did. Anything more on Twitter? So let's see. We got Phillies tomorrow, 4:00 game. And then I believe Game 7 with the Hurricanes and the Rangers is tomorrow. Hopefully that'll be fun. And that's been a weird series too. Like I know I'm like transitioning into hockey right now, but I know I do have a lot of New York fans, so they'll probably like be interested in this. So I'm trying to think. Lost my train of thought. But let's see. Raul says that is true. I watch you because you don't degrade other fan bases. Thank you for the compliment there, Raul. At this point, like I try not to be that typical Philadelphia fan. It's just I hate doing that. I hate it. I just hate doing that. Is Kevin Hart a Phillies fan? He's from Philadelphia, so I would assume he is. Let's see. Joey says Dombrowski putting a roster together with dreadful defense is not a playoff team. Eric says Will Smith is a Phillies fan. Chris Rock is a Mets fan. Oh, God. Wait, is Chris Rock actually a Mets fan? That'd be hilarious. I feel like Schwarber could be trade bait to improve the bullpen. Some AL teams would take him as a DH. You're not trading Schwarber after you just signed him to that contract. They're not going to trade him. he chants let's honestly that just makes the entire situation with them with the freaking slap with him and Chris. Oh, God. That just makes that, I don't know why this does. It makes it even better. Chance, let's go. We'll take Schwarber off your bag. Yeah, there's so many like teams around the league that'll take a Kyle Schwarber. It's like right now, like, yeah, you're getting buyer's remorse from Kyle Schwarber because you're going for the Kyle Schwarber experience. Like we stressed this going into the year. He's not going to hit for average. That's just not who he is. His career average is like around 230 or something like that. But he can go on long stretches where he's hitting home runs consistently. And right now, we haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten that from Schwarber. Like, I'm not expecting the month that he had last year with the Nationals, where he hit, what was it, like 16 home runs, 13 home runs in a certain amount of stretch of games. I'm not expecting that. Yeah, like exactly what you just said right here. Schwarber is just a really streaky hitter. That's what he is. That's what he is. But the one, like, I still do back the Kyle Schwarber signing just because you brought another leader for the club. I know everything with the team's going this year, but still, like, the logic behind it is still there because Kyle Schwarber, throughout his entire career, he's played for contenders basically his entire career. He's with the Cubs for a long time. He won a World Series with the Chicago Cubs. He was on those good Cubs teams. He went to the Nationals, yeah, but then he got traded to the Boston Red Sox, who went to the ALCS last year, and he was really good for the Boston Red Sox. So I still stand behind that. He's probably a 25% above average league hitter on a yearly basis. Yeah, he's going to hit. He was paid to hit home runs. That's what he was paid for. But right now, he's not doing it. Harper not in the outfield makes it dreadful. Yeah, like that injury to Harper is going to hurt you basically the entire year because of what you could do with the DH. Now that takes away with Bryce Harper. Tim says Mets fan here. Just think some years are different. Think the Phillies are a good team. Schwarber has no defense though. Well, that was the entire thing. Signing, with the DH coming into play. Like, you were going to be implementing, some guys play the field certain days. Some guys, one day Schwarber plays the outfield, one day he's DH. One plays the outfield, one day he's DH. Like, you can interchange a lot of people into the roles, when you say maybe Rhys Hoskins gets a day DHing. You could play Kyle Schwarber at first base, Bryce Harper in right field, Nick Castellanos in left field. When Nick Castellanos needs a day at the DH, Harper goes in right, Schwarber left, Hoskins first. It interchanges basically every time. But now when you don't have that opportunity because of Bryce Harper's injury, it hinders you a lot. And now you're getting exposed but because of that. So that's the one downfall there. Joe G says Schwarber has the range of Bartolo Colon in the outfield. Honestly, I feel like Bartolo Colon would have had a much better arm in the outfield. Tim says, do you want Girardi gone? I'm not fully blaming Joe Girardi for what's going on with the Phillies. Yeah, he's had his bad moments, a lot of bad moments, a lot. But I do believe he needs to be fired for change. Something to change and spark the team. He really does. Something needs to happen. Like, I'm not like the biggest Joe Girardi hater, but he has his major faults. Like, he does. He can't manage a bullpen. He cannot manage a bullpen for his life. That's his one major flaw. And right now, like, his decisions with the bullpen, especially lately, have been so awful. So awful. And I'm not sure the culture that he's bringing along, like some other guys said in the chat like so many minutes ago, that maybe the team lost him. That he's been here for so long that the team just isn't responding to him anymore. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Dombrowski signing Castellanos, who is much worse than Schwarber and also a DH, is one of the most confusing baseball decisions of the last decade. Should have traded for Kiermaier. Like, honestly, I was more in favor of going after Castellanos than Schwarber. I know there were so many ties for both of them because Castellanos, he had ties with Dombrowski with back in with the Detroit Tigers and all that. He drafted Castellanos in Detroit. So I knew the connections there. And all, so it's a tough situation. It really is. But that was their decision in the offseason. Still, I trust Dave Dombrowski like fullest. Like I know like he was brought here basically to restructure this entire team from the bottom up. So right now, we just got to see what that plan turns into. I know right now it's frustrating. Right now, it is. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Hopefully, hopefully. Crimsy chinny chin chins. Harper not being in the field really makes this team hard to watch defensively. Yeah. Joe says, so if you're the Phillies, what do you do now? Trade Hoskins? I couldn't tell you what to do. Like, I'm not the biggest Rhys Hoskins hater. I'm not like one of those many people that despise Rhys Hoskins because there are a lot of people that despise Rhys Hoskins. Like, if you do have to make a trade, and it's what like maybe Rhys Hoskins is that guy because his contract is coming up. Maybe you do make a move with Hoskins. Maybe you move to get another pitcher or something like. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. Meeple says on the bright side, at least they didn't sign Marcus Semien. I didn't think they were going to go for that type of help. Firing Girardi isn't going to fix the inherited flaws with the roster. Yeah, it's not. Hopefully it sparks something. It's not going to fix the problems, though. Phillies had the perfect chance to improve their flaws while still getting very good offensive production this offseason. Joey G, how about taking Castellanos out for Quinn to be hit behind Harper in the 10th? Oh, God. Like, at that... Like, yes, that really bothers me. It does. But it's like they always do that because that's like the fault of Cord Knievel throwing the first pitch bomb to Plummer. Like first pitch bomb. That still is in my head. Like first pitch bomb and ninth inning. Like seriously. First pitch bomb. I thought they would improve the defense somewhere, but they really said, nah, we good. Yeah, that is definitely fireable. What Joe Girardi, the many moves that he's done over the past month have been fireable. Hoskins has been great, but he is unlucky. Actually, he's not even getting unlucky anymore. Never mind. He's been bad. Yeah, Hoskins, for as good as Hoskins can be at the plate, especially when it's like Rhys Hoskins is such a tough discussion because when Rhys Hoskins goes on a hot streak, he can carry the offense. Like we've seen Rhys Hoskins hot streaks many times here before, and they have been great. But the sad part is he is a very hot and cold hitter. And right now we've been seeing more of the cold than the good. And that is a major issue. Same thing with Kyle Schwarber. He's a very hot and streaky type of hitter. We've been seeing more of the slumps rather than the hot streaks. That's the problem. And I do think with Castellanos, I do think there's a little bit of a tie-in with what his mother tweeted out, during this week with the loss in his family. So I do think that ties into his slump. So hopefully with the games that he's been having recently with his hitting, so hopefully he's finding his stride a little bit back. So that's something there. It's crazy that people are talking about selling. I could see the Phillies abusing some teams when the weather gets hot. Definitely, yeah. When we saw the way they were playing in LA with the way the ball was carrying, yeah, that definitely could have some effect. But right now, we need to find the way for this team to get hot, go on a stretch. Like, yeah, there's still going to be weeks where we are excited about this team. There's going to be weeks where they are playing good. There's going to be weeks where, they're winning 5 in a row, when they're winning a couple of series in a row, and we're excited. That's still going to happen because the season is still very long away from being over. But right now, they still got to prove it to us. They still do. I'm not, like, I love to be the optimistic guy. I do. But right now, I'm done being the optimistic guy because right now, this Phillies team still has to prove it for a lot of us. I thought, the start of this year was going to be a little different. Right now, we're seeing more of the same. And they still got to prove it to us. But still, I'm going to state the reality and state, what can happen and what can't happen. And I'm trying to say, yeah, maybe in the summer, when the weather does get warmer, the ball does carry more. And maybe that benefits them. But right now, they still got to prove it to us. Eric says, who do you think will land Soto from Washington? That's a good question. Does Washington trade Soto? I have no idea. I know he turned down a contract offer. They tried to extend him. So I wonder if he's like a major trade bait. I'm not sure if they'll do that. that'll be like, if he is on the market this year, that's going to be a huge bidding war. Huge. I honestly couldn't think what team would go after him. A lot of teams will be after him now. A lot of teams. Fastball down the middle. Don't remind me. You're high on Hoskins in general, though. He hits the ball so hard and he hits a ton of fly balls. He's not the guy to move. Tom says, how far back do you think the Phillies have to be sellers at the trade deadline? Maybe 7 games back from the playoffs. Maybe. How about signing JT Realmuto, a 30-year-old catcher? He isn't the same. See, Mets fans, so put that there. Let's see. You don't sign 30-year-old catchers to 7-year deals, yeah. Wait, actually, what was JT's deal? JT Realmuto contract. Actually, he signed a 5-year deal. 5-year deal, $115 million deal. Very high on Alec Boehm's bat. He needs to be the DH, even though you have so many of them. But right, I do think Alec Boehm has been much better in the field as of late, though. I think, like, still, Alec Boehm has been the least of the Phillies' worries so far. Like, yeah, he's still not a good fielder. He's never going to be a fantastic fielder. He's going to have his bad games. But I don't need Alec Boehm making the fantastic plays. He's got to find a way to make the simple plays more consistently. And he has been doing that more consistently, which I'm very proud of him for doing that. So, let's see. Eric says they want to sell the team, but not sure what to do with Soto. You can rebuild a team with just that one. Oh, yeah. If you trade Soto, that is a lot of pieces of return for rebuilding your franchise. So, if you trade Soto this trade deadline, you're going to get a ton of pieces back. Boehm has the worst defensive run saves in baseball. Wow. Oh, wow. I did not expect. It's weird, though, because I felt like he's been a lot better as of late in the field than he hasn't been. Dombrowski can put a great softball team together. Oh, God. Sir says they won't sell Soto. That will leave that to whoever the new owners are to decide. Are the Nationals actually trying to sell? I did not know they were actually trying to sell the franchise. I didn't know that. That was the first time I've heard that. And it's weird, though, because it's weird because when you're not that far off removed from a World Series from where, you know. The Benno says the Mets are going to get Soto and you Phillies are going to hate. Tom says trots to the Flyers. Let's not bring the Philadelphia Flyers up in this conversation. They bother me to a different level. Yeah, man. Philadelphia teams bothering me to different levels. Who knew? Flyers and the Phillies. Hopefully the Eagles. Hopefully the Eagles can live up to the expectations they're going to have this year. They would have to give him Alvarez and Beatty to get him. Yeah, whoever is going to trade for Juan Soto is going to have to give up a lot of the prospect system, really. You're going to have to give up, a bat, a couple of bats, maybe a pitcher. You're going to have to give up a lot of prospects for Soto. Casey says, realistically, how much can we blame Girardi and how much do we just have to blame on the players front? I think it does go both ways. I think it does. Girardi's not the full blame. I do believe more blame should be put on the players for a lot of guys underachieving on this roster. But you do have to, blame Joe for going to certain guys in certain situations when you shouldn't be. Like when you're putting Jose Alvarado in close inning situations, when you're putting Familia in close game situations, when you're putting James Norwood in close game situations, when you're putting Nick Nelson out there for a 2-inning save. There's a lot of issues that he does with the bullpen. Because he loves to put he has this, for some reason, this motto for, I don't want to use bullpen guys 3 days in a row because I want to save their arms for September. But Joe, that logic is that logic is not good when possibly you're not involved in the playoff discussion in September. we rested all these bullpen guys. We saved their arms for September, but we're 15 games out of anything. Like that logic is very flawed. Because you still got to win your games in May. You still got to win your games in April. You still got to win your games early in the year. Tom says Mets, Jets, Knicks, and a Flyers fan. That's a weird combo. I know Payne happy with the series sweep, but it's a long season. I'm still questioning that you are a Flyers fan somehow. I'm questioning that. Like, how are you a Flyers fan when you were a Mets, Jets, and Knicks fan? That's a question. That's a huge question mark. That is a huge question mark. Huge question mark. Alex Coffey just said on Twitter that she's going to need 7 melatonin to wind down. Oh, your father is all Philadelphia, got you into hockey, you love Giroux. Huh, that's nice. That's definitely nice. As you Phillies did wrong when you guys went with all offense and absolutely no defense. It's definitely a problem. Definitely is. Not gonna deny it. Not gonna deny it whatsoever. We're definitely weeping the worst of it right now. Definitely are. Yeah. And it just sucks. It really does. It sucks. All we know is pain right now in Philadelphia. All we know is pain. All we know is pain. Outfield has the range of my grandmother, but her arm is better. Oh, God. Joey says the best signing the Phillies have done was get Wheeler off the Mets because Max DeGrom Wheeler aren't a fun threesome to face. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wheeler turned out to be a really good signing for the Phillies. One of the very few. I still do think in the long term, like Castellanos will be a good signing for this team. Schwarber, hopefully, when his bat wakes up, does. Right now, we're just in a really bad time with everything going down with this team. Lefty says at least you've seen him win a World Series as a Mets fan. I've never seen him because of 9/11 '86. I do have that, yeah. But I was in 5th grade when I saw the Phillies. Like, I still do remember it wholeheartedly. But it just for some reason I just feel like when you're in the prime of your life right now, like when I'm 24, like I want to see my teams win when I can remember it most. You know what I mean? Like my best moments so far as a Philadelphia, like I saw the Phillies win the World Series. I was too young to even remember the Allen Iverson days with the Sixers. With other teams, Eagles, of course, Super Bowl in 2018, Super Bowl 52. Flyers. My best moment as a Flyers fan was them losing in the Cup Finals in 2010. They've had good teams, the 2018 and all that stuff. It's just I haven't really seen much. It's really like I really haven't seen like they're really the only consistent Philadelphia team that I've seen that was good was honestly the Phillies stretch from 07 to 2011. That's really the most consistent Philadelphia team that I've seen that was good. Like, yeah, you can also like throw in the Sixers that have been on this stretch with Joel Embiid and stuff, and I love Joel Embiid. But like my best Sixers moment, probably whatever Joel Embiid does, really. But I'm just trying to think. Like, yeah, Eagles fan, Super Bowl definitely. Phillies fan, World Series definitely. But it's just I can understand for you, Lefty, that you haven't seen a World Series all in your life. At least you've recently been to a World Series too. At least your team has recently been to the playoffs. The Phillies are on like almost basically an 11-year drought of being into the playoffs. Like the Phillies are known throughout their history of going through these long playoff droughts. And it sucks. It really sucks. Like, seriously, when you go from that stretch from 2007 to 2011, the Phillies were in a playoff drought since before they won the division 07. They never made the playoffs from when they went to the World Series in 93. That was a long-ass drought. That was like a 13, 14, 15-year drought of getting to the playoffs. Are we close to that again? Hopefully not. But we're probably getting there too. Who knows? Just sucks. It sucks. It really does. Like, I just want to, because I've really like never seen situations like as myself as a Philadelphia sports fan, I've never seen like all at once, like every Philadelphia sports team at once be good. Because when I'm trying to remember back then, Phillies in that 2007 to 11 run, the Flyers made the playoffs consistently those times. Same thing with the Sixers, but they were never a dominant team. They were always like an early exit in the playoffs. Eagles, same thing. I'm just trying to think, because like when every single Philadelphia team, the last like they were major contenders for like even competing for their championships like all at the same time. It's been a while. Been a long time. Like, seriously, the last time when you saw like every single Philadelphia sports team like made the championship, like probably, like, I know that's rare when you see like one city make the championship in every single league in one season, was I believe 1980. 1980, I believe. Eagles went to the Super Bowl that year and I believe lost to Oakland. The Sixers went to the NBA Finals that year. They lost. I believe, who was that against? 1980 NBA Finals. It was the Lakers. Okay, they got swept. They lost in 6 games to the Lakers that year. And then you get the 1980 Stanley Cup Final. Flyers lost to the Islanders in 6 games off that very controversial overtime call. And then the Phillies won the World Series against the Kansas City Royals. So every Philadelphia team went to the championship that year. Only one of them won. But I wasn't even alive for that. I was born in 98. Let's see. Divine says, big Mets fan. The Phillies can still win the division. Mets have 3 games against the Nationals, then have the Dodgers, Padres, Angels, and Brewers without DeGrom, Max, and Miguel. I don't know, man. With the way the Mets have been playing this year, honestly, they can probably win those games. At least some of them. Like, I know you don't have your best pitchers, but they still have been playing really good. Like, I can understand why Mets fans, like certain Mets fans, are probably going to be skeptical about the team just because of, past, heartbreaks with the way the teams have collapsed. But when I watch this Mets team this year, they look different a little bit. They do. They definitely do. Joey G says, if DeGrom is 80% of what he was, they're winning it. Mr. 89 says, the only sports city where every team is consistently good is Boston. Benjamin Franklin blessed Boston and cursed Philly. Like, seriously, I'm seeing like even recently with a lot of different sports, I'm seeing like Tampa Bay, like in the stretch of that they're going through. Super Bowl, 2 Stanley Cup Finals, 2 Stanley Cups in a row. Like, seriously, they've had a stretch of like these past like 3 years, or even 2 years, honestly. The Super Bowl and 2 Stanley Cups, and even the World Series appearance with the Rays in 2020. Then you get LA, Lakers winning the championship, and you get the Dodgers winning the World Series in 2020. I'm trying to think of other teams. I know the Braves ended their long drought with the World Series, Atlanta in general. I'm trying to think of other teams too. Blues in 2019, the St. Louis Blues. Toronto Raptors. Milwaukee Bucks won it last year. So, that's there. Let's see. Joey says the Braves would be in first, not the Phillies, even if it did happen. Raul says it's rare to have a city to do what New York did in '69. Mets, Jets, Knicks, Cosmos, and soccer all won their championships. Yeah. I wish I could experience that because there's just like so many other cities that I'm seeing where they have 2 teams, 3 teams win a championship all in maybe like a 2 or 3 year span. Like, I would love to experience that. I would really do. I think we're getting closer to 1 a.m. Well, almost 2 hours on the stream. I didn't even realize that. But I think we are going to call it here, everyone. I greatly appreciate everyone here for joining the stream. Honestly, at this point, it didn't even turn into a Phillies recap like usual. It's just really just like a Phillies complaint video at this point, complaint stream. But still, I really appreciate everyone here that has joined up in the live feed, everything, dropping a like on the like button, hitting the subscribe button, everything like that, joining everything here. I greatly appreciate that. And I hopefully it continues down the road with everyone here that joins the chat on a daily basis, hopefully. But still, gratefully appreciate that. Still, I recap every single, Phillies game every single day. I still watch this team 162. I'm a delusional idiot, so you never know. But still, grateful for everyone joining here, and for people that somehow didn't tune into this live, just don't forget to leave your comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything that is down in the description below. The painted lines, BrodesMedia, the Florida Pod merch website, everything like that in the description below. Do not forget to check all that stuff out. Don't forget to drop the like on the like button. Don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, everyone. I appreciate everything here, everyone that is joining here and everything right there. And I will see you next